name is Taylor. I hope that you are having a good day. I hope that you are having a great day. But if you are having a really, really terrible day, I do hope that it gets just a wee bit better. It's only Monday, folks, so let's keep climbing. Alrighty, let's get started, shall we? Okay, we are on episode 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everybody. And I am so excited that you are back with me. So if you are new to the Grief Brief series, a quick rundown of what it's all about. My mom passed away in September of 2016, and I spent time and the months that followed recording my thoughts and feelings via Snapchat and Instagram. There are even some videos I've never shared with anybody that will become available via the internet soon enough. And I just talked about what it was like to grieve, what I was going through, because I didn't want to bottle any feelings up. I felt like I wasn't allowed to talk about it, so I decided I'm really stubborn, so I'm going to talk about it. Partly because I couldn't afford a therapist, and partly because I felt like I wasn't allowed to talk about how I felt. Like, grieving is such a private thing, and it shouldn't be, because it's something that everyone will experience at one point or another. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Life is not forever. Not to be super morbid, everybody's gonna die, is the gist of that. Everybody dies! Everybody dies! Okay, Taylor. So, anyways, and that is what the Grief Brief series is. One thing to note, these videos are backlogged. So right now you're going to be watching videos, I'm recording this in May of 2017, and you're going to be watching videos and feelings from October of 2016. But I wanted to give myself that space between what I was feeling and when I was going to share it with the entire freaking world, because I wanted to have a better perspective and maybe necessarily not be in the exact same space. So that is important to note. So today what you're going to hear me talk about is something called anticipatory grief. And basically what that means is nowadays people don't die from like sudden heart attacks or a brain aneurysm or some quick death. You know, that does happen with violence or war or, you know, terrible accidents. Those things do happen. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of people end up finding out they have a disease and then going on a steady decline. You know what I mean? You find out you have Alzheimer's, you find out you have cancer, you find out you have multiple sclerosis or some organ failure, you know what I mean? So typically when you find out you have these diseases, you can fight them, you can try things, but there might come a point where the doctors have tried all that they have, and thanks to technology can kind of just tell you, you know what, this is the end of the road. You are on a decline towards the end of your life versus us trying different treatments to try to save you. So that is what happened with my mother. She had cancer, and basically we found out that she was not going to... We found out there was nothing else that the doctors could do. Her cancer had progressed too far, it had spread to too many places, one of her lungs had collapsed, her body was far too weak to continue any sort of progressive treatment, and they felt it would be more humane to make her as comfortable as possible until she passed. We were told weeks to months, and from the time that I was told that, you know, there's nothing more that they can do to the time my mom passed away, is probably like 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. So everything happened very quickly. It was all of a sudden we were fighting this, and then it was like, no, not anymore. And that was a crazy, crazy experience. And so I would catch myself all the time, whether I was at work, whether I was just like at home or, you know, with my mom, where I was just crying as if she had died already, because it was like this anticipation for when she was going to die. I was grieving someone who was alive. I felt both rude, but also just like, I don't know how to process this. My mom is going to die. What am I going to do? I want to spend all this time with her, but also I'm trying to process all these things. And so basically that is what you're going to hear me talk about, is that experience and what that means. And I'm trying to bring a little bit more awareness that that is something that is normal. It's something that happens. It's something that a lot of people don't know about. I didn't even know that that was what I was going through until after my mom passed away, and I did some research about it. The biggest thing about grief is whatever you feel is normal. Please feel your feelings. Do whatever you can in the most healthy way. Talk to any and everyone. Be like me and just share your feelings that nobody asked for. Unsolicited feelings is the best way to share feelings, because then there's no anticipation that these people will care. And you're just talking, and it feels so good, and whatever happens after that, whatever. So I hope you enjoy my little street rant about grief, and I hope it helps you in some way, and I do hope that your day just keeps going up and up from here. Here it goes.
So I recorded something on my Snapchat, but I feel like saying something a little different on here, so I'm going to do that. The gist of my Snapchats were talking about how I'm sort of in this phase of avoidance and denial so that I can, get on with my life and be happy sometimes. And me recognizing that that's not the best thing to do, but it's just kind of where I'm at, and this man is so loud. And it's not that I don't believe that she's gone, it's just hard to wrap your mind around the idea that somebody could be here one day and just, they don't exist anymore. So while I'm simultaneously dealing with that and trying to figure that out and avoid all my new responsibilities and things I have to do now, I'm also trying to accept the fact that so my mom was in hospice for 5 days before she passed away, so I knew it was coming, not as soon as it happened. We thought we had weeks or months. But once the doctor said she was at end-stage cancer or terminal cancer, I sort of started grieving while she was still alive, and that felt so weird. And I would cry when I was at work or at home or on people's shoulders, and my mom was still alive at that point. And I Googled it because if you don't know me, I'm a huge fan of Googling anything I don't know, and it's called anticipatory grief. And anticipatory grief is something that a lot of people experience nowadays, but we don't really know about it, because nowadays you don't typically just die, you typically have an illness and you decline. So the people around you tend to experience, they anticipate the grief that they're going to experience, so they start grieving you while you're still alive. Or you start grieving a parent or a loved one because you know that they're going to die before they're dead, and it's just a crazy experience, you guys. So I kind of had that. I had my most, I would sob on my mom's, in my mom's arms. It was so bizarre. So not to say I'm over it, I'm doing good, but it's I had that sort of anticipation, and that's something that people don't talk about, and it's something I'm trying to process as to why I feel how I feel. Because I feel I should be balled up in a corner somewhere, not at work. I should not be getting on with my life. I should still be super sad and depressed and all these things. But because I knew it was coming, it's sort of I did that stuff before she passed away. And while I'm still sad and I cry sometimes, it's not as often. And I don't know, that was just something I wanted to talk about because it's something that a lot of people don't know exists, and it's something that I'm going through and trying to process, and why I'm avoiding things, but why I'm okay with things, and it's just weird.
And that was my little street rant for episode 5 of Grief Brief series. Join me again on Friday. If you liked this video, feel free to share it with anyone you know might be struggling or might have similar feelings. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to do that. You can comment and talk to me. I have way too much information about grief thanks to all of my research, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I hope your day just gets a little bit better and you have an amazing week, and I will see you on Friday. Bye!